Every year on March 26th, sneakerheads all around the world gather around to celebrate an event called Air Max Day, created by Nike, and this is the story of it. Now, as Nike approached the 80s, they pretty much were in full swing. They had the Air technology that they introduced in 1979 with the Tailwind shoe, and they also had a bunch of endorsements like the GOAT, Michael Jordan. By 1985, he was a part of the brand. The Air Jordan was out. It was starting to take over culture a little bit as Jordan was ascending as well. In short, they were doing pretty well, but in 1987, they introduced the shoe that would change everything for them. That shoe was called the Air Max 1. Now, building on the technology that they had perfected in 1979 with the Tailwind, they introduced this shoe, but the difference is they showed the Air technology at the bottom that is affectionately known as the Big Bubble. And of course, this technology was created by none other than the legend himself, Tinker Hatfield, longtime designer at Nike. He's probably designed your favorite Nike shoes. And if you don't believe me, here are some of the shoes that he's done. Shout out to Sneaker Freaker because this image is from them. But as you can see, Tinker Hatfield has done everything from the Space Jam Jordans to the Air Max 1 to the Jordan 3s that you see right there, which are my personal favorite shoes. But yeah, he really broke the mold with the Air Max 1. Now, the Air Max 1 quickly became popular and it was followed up by the Air Max 3, but they really broke the mold as a company when Nike made the Air Max 95, which has become one of their most popular Air Max shoes of all time. The Air Max 95 was designed by Sergio Lozano, and he actually said he was inspired by the earth and the idea of erosion when he came up with the sneaker, as well as human anatomy. Going back to the erosion piece, if you start at the bottom going up on the side of the shoe, you'll notice that over time it looks like the color's wearing away a little bit, and that's intentional. Then, if you look at those green stripes right there, it kind of looks like a rib cage, and the back of the shoe represents the spinal column. So, again, a lot of inspiration went into making this shoe. On top of that, if you look at the sole of the sneaker, you'll notice that it's all black. So, on top of having the big bubble technology displayed, this was the first time that Nike had a black sole on their sneakers. It was a very dicey move. Sergio's job was actually on the line when he did this. And like I said, it's quickly become one of the best Nike Air Maxes of all time. And it recently just released and sold out. And the lore of the 95 is also crossed over into the new generation because of artists like the late and great Bankroll Fresh, who, of course, we know in a song with Jeezy, opens up the song talking about Air Max 95s, like people screaming in clubs. It warms my heart as someone from Atlanta. So to close the loop, the original Air Max 1 debuted on March 26, 1987. And in 2014, Nike made Air Max Day official. So now every year on March 26th, we celebrate with the new slate of releases. And these are the releases for this year's Air Max Day. Me personally, I want the Air Max 1s right there. I think that's a Pata collaboration. Nice. With all that said, 60 years later for Nike, billions of dollars later, they don't get where they're at today without the Air Max 1 and, of course, without Tinker Hatfield. So if you didn't know why sneakerheads celebrate March 26th every year, you do now. Hopefully, you tap in. Peace.